Okay, I'm back here with the first movement of the Bartok dance suite. I had first revisited it after years and years of not playing it, and now it's revisiting it after a few weeks of inaction. So I did work backwards a little bit. I did some of the ritornello at the end, but I think I'm just going to start at the beginning again. And the advantage I have of these two versions is that I don't have to turn pages, which will help to reinforce my learning of the ends and beginnings of pages. Anyway, here we go. Mention this, that sometimes I'll try to test myself before I'm ready, and that's not necessarily a good thing. It's often not. In other words, I could have looked up who knows I'm going to arrive on G. G is going to become a very important pedal point later on in the piece, but not just yet. Well, I take that back. It is for all of this is against that G pedal. Is circling around A at this point. So when it gets out of the theme comes back, only this time interspersed with to use the sostenuto pedal for clarity. Using it well often requires a very fast release of the keys of the notes you don't want held. So now I can put the sostenuto down, or an early placement of the sostenuto. Perfect example of great interpretation for the wrong thing. I don't need the sostenuto pedal, not really, until a measure later when I want to clarify that texture. Because here I can do it entirely with my hands. Here again. And this is going to be the beginning of the really long G pedal point. So we have fairly involved. Here's the A, and then it becomes the G there. I'm going to go back to so in the bass, E, B, E. Actually hear it still hanging on 5 measures later. Good. placed it in the wrong place. Sparse sound. Maybe not bad. So what the sostenuto does for me, gives me at least a chance to get up and then break as I see fit. That means I'm reaching for the A. If I deliver my hand to the thumb an octave lower, excuse me, I don't miss. Section. So this is straightforward. I think I'm looking at, I was surprised by not seeing my fingering because I was busily working with the newer version that has no markings on it. Surprise, surprise. So 4, 3, 1. So which I would normally avoid like the plague. It's possible, I'm just asking for trouble. No? Actually like the fingering I wrote. So go figure. For a moment there, it didn't work. string the fifth finger black note, whether it be the fourth or the fourth finger black note, the same B flat. That inclination of the hand really makes it easier. Seconds in them require quite a flat hand, and then a reapproach of the keyboard for the A octaves. If I sidle up to it, just slip off there. The risk is I'll get lots of extra stuff. Smaller version, because here there's no octave, just a tritone. In fact, these others have octaves plus an add-on note. So a filled-in octave, an added-on-to octave, a plain octave. Same thing here, exactly. Then it's stripped down. So the last two are stripped down quite a lot. The second to last one is just the tritone. The last one is the tritone with octaves. So described it because after the octave one, there's one more. That confused me because I had described it and remembered it in two different ways. Let's see that times from E and G sharp, and B, especially the bass line, a lot more than I will play it for purposes of learning. Oops. I was ready. The right hand. A little hard to put the positions right. So it's a sixth, a seventh. Fingering. If I'm going to 3, I have to go up further. If I go just to 2, go 1, 2, 3, 5. The disadvantage is finding the 1, 2 is much harder. The advantage is once I'm there, and it's also an accent, so the delay wouldn't hurt it. Put it in parenthetically. I kind of like it. Here. Makes it more accurate, that's for sure, more secure. It does take more time. Right now, where choosing to go to the more extended position gives me 3 notes. But it's harder to get to. It's a lot more thought-provoking. With 3 I can just fling. Now this 7th with the black note on top is really difficult without twisting the hand to favor the thumb. So using 4 particularly is difficult. So if I had 2, I'm already in position. So that's an excellent advantage to the 1-2. I'm getting maybe solo. Maybe that's why it's always been difficult. Yeah, it's that one thought or one placement. But I get more reward probably for that extra effort, I think. A little Bartok's Poco Allargando. Hearing his recordings, he never pocoed anything. So. Score, as it were. I'm at tempo prima on the last page. This goes from sixth, pressing, and then it opens up the same way, in reverse. right before the left. Okay, that's somewhat the way the first movement goes. I'm going to stop and then come back with a second.